The National Security Agency is collecting a massive trove of images that it intercepts over social media, emails, and texts, some which are so clear it can use them in its facial recognition operations. According to the New York Times, top-secret NSA documents indicate that the spy agency's global facial recognition technology has seen huge growth in the last 4 years. Millions of images are intercepted per day, only adding to the huge database of personal information that government can have on individuals, both American and foreign. The worry many have is that there are few limits on these operations. While the NSA says the improved targeting could help track down terrorists, civil liberties advocates worry the program seems to be operating in a legal vacuum. Well, here to talk more about this is John Whitehead, the president of the Rutherford Institute. He is also the author of A Government of Wolves, the Emerging American Police State, which raises concerns about the impact on Americans' constitutional rights in an era of expansive police powers and government surveillance. Sir, thank you very much for joining me. Now, in the article, according to a 2010 document, the NSA says it's taking a full arsenal approach that digitally exploits the clues a target leaves behind in their regular activities on the net to compile biographic and biometric information that can help implement precision targeting. Here's what most people want to know. What qualifies as a target, and how do average Americans know they're not getting caught up in it?
Listen, I've been working in this area for 40 years, working with governmental agencies. Everybody's a target. If you appear to be an extremist, you say the wrong thing on Facebook, you're going to be watched. But the key here is with this facial recognition software, they're going to be able soon to, and they're admitting it, to create 3D images of human bodies, almost holographic images. They're working with a Google subsidiary called PitPat, which is going to help them analyze the data. And Facebook, by the way, has a program called Deep Face, which now they claim that when they look at a crowd, if they're looking for your face, that 97.25% of the time they can accurately pick you up, so your face. So what we're facing is the NSA, there really is no limit. Supposedly the FISA court is there, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court is there to protect us, but as the studies show, 99% of the time they say yes to what the government wants. So I don't think, everybody, Facebook is downloading 2.5 billion images, or uploading 2.5 billion images a month. So whatever you do out there, folks, your face is going to be recognizable. And the key thing here is it violates our Constitution. The Fourth Amendment says you cannot do surveillance without probable cause, and they don't have probable cause to watch them hear you.
Well, let's talk about this personal information. Now, the NSA isn't the only government agency using facial imagery. The State Department, the FBI, and other state and local enforcement agencies have their own programs as well. But how does the NSA's program compare?
The NSA has the most powerful computers in the world. It's the biggest spy and black ops agency in the world. We don't know how many people work for them. We don't know how much money. They have the Echelon program that goes around the world. We know they intimately work with the NSA and, Google. Google has now announced that it's going to be launching 180 satellites worldwide to connect Wi-Fi with everybody. What they're erecting, and this is very clear, is an electronic concentration camp. You will not be able to escape it. Now, add to this, and this is the thing we're studying here at the Rutherford Institute, the FBI is collecting a huge DNA database, which they will be working with, and they do the domestic surveillance, by the way, for the NSA. They're going to be able to create basically our bodies with their data, holographic bodies. If you've seen the movie Minority Report, it's pretty clear where they're headed. And by the way, most of that technology in Minority Report is already available to the government, and that movie was set in 2054. So the technology they have, it's moving so very, very rapid. But let me say this, privacy is gone, folks. You're in an electronic concentration camp, and they don't give a hoot about the Constitution.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Minority Report. You know, when that movie came out, so many people said, oh, that's far-fetched. The technology just isn't there. Well, it doesn't. Yeah, time will tell. Unfortunately, not a very long time.
They've got Facebook, they've got Google. They're working with those mega corporations. They have their own facial recognition programs. And what you have is basically a global corporate state. You're not going to be able to move. And the question I always get from people, well, if I'm not doing anything wrong, why should I worry? Well, Martin Luther King wasn't doing anything wrong, and the FBI collected 17,000 pages of information to use against him. Anybody considered a troublemaker, anybody that speaks out, Occupy people, anybody out there protesting, peace activists are going to be targeted. So get ready. We're in it. The question is, how do we deal with it?
Okay, well, one agency spokesperson, I mean, just to make the NSA's case on this, the NSA wouldn't be doing its job if it didn't seek ways to continuously improve precision in tracking people with possible intent to harm the U.S. That's according to an NSA spokesperson. Fair enough. But what about the rest of us? Are there currently any court cases that could be setting a precedent on legislating what is off limits and collecting images and other biometric data on people who aren't suspects?
No, and the courts always lag behind. Again, I'm a constitutional lawyer. Most judges don't even understand cell phones. I've been in the cases. The Supreme Court, there's only one person in the Supreme Court that basically uses a computer. They don't understand the technology. So that's why the computer whizzes and hackers that work with the NSA and groups like that, they're moving so fast. The courts, I mean, it's a secret spy agency. We don't know what they do. I actually have talked to former NSA agents. One told me, John, they're downloading 1 billion bits of information from the internet every month. People just don't know what they're doing. We don't know how many people work for them. We don't know how much money they have. Free governments don't operate like that. We don't have a transparent government. Folks, I'm trying to tell people we live in a police state. It's time to wake up. And Philip K. Dick basically said it, the great science fiction writer. He says, if this is coming like I think it is, the only way you can get around it is you got to hide, cheat, make better spy equipment, and fight back. And groups like Anonymous and TV programs like yours are important. We just need to fight back and use every available means we can peacefully to resist.
Speaking of the means to fight back, how can the average person fight back? I mean, we spoke to one guy back in May who was taking his facial anti-recognition system to a whole new level. Take a look at this. He developed something called the You or Me Personal Surveillance Identity Prosthetic. It's a realistic 3D printed mask of his face made from pigmented hard resin. This may seem to be going a bit extreme, but people are serious about protecting their anonymity. What other choices do people have?
I think they should be. They should be, but drones are going to be flying over America in about 6 months legally. Some of the drones are going to be able to pick up images from 20,000 feet. They're going to have facial recognition software. It's going to be very difficult. I can see people are telling me they're going to buy hats, but you know, the movie Signs where they wore the aluminum hats.
Yeah.
Aluminum hats. But at a certain point, it's going to become so invasive. What we need is our government needs to protect us. Our Congress should pass an electronic bill of rights saying they shouldn't be doing it on America. Sure, if they have evidence that some terrorist is doing something crazy, sure, go after them. But I'm not doing anything illegal. Why should they be watching me and creating a 3D facial recognition package of me? That violates the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment is probable cause, some evidence of illegality before they do these things. They don't care about that. Our government is a rogue government, folks.
Well, I suppose at this juncture, with trying to get, as you say, get the courts to catch up, you've got to petition your your legislators to get something on the books to at least stop this vacuum Washington's operating in. All right, John W. Whitehead, president of the Rutherford Institute. Thank you very much, sir.
Innocent 58-year-old man raided by SWAT, assaulted, flashbanged, kidnapped for 3 days for welfare check. Charlottesville, Virginia. Rutherford Institute. Attorneys for the Rutherford Institute have identified 8 members of a tactical police squad in an amended complaint to a lawsuit against Virginia police over a welfare check on a 58-year-old man that resulted in a 2-hour SWAT team-style raid on the man's truck and a 72-hour mental health hold. In documents filed with the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Virginia, Rutherford Institute attorneys named specific members of the Albemarle County Police Department tactical team who were previously identified only as John Does because of the county's resistance to Freedom of Information Act requests. As the November 2015 lawsuit makes clear, despite the fact that police acknowledged they had no legal basis nor probable cause for detaining Benjamin Burris, given that he had not threatened to harm anyone, was not suspected of any criminal activity, and was not mentally ill, a police tactical team confronted Burris, surrounded his truck, deployed a Stinger device behind the rear tires, launched a flash grenade, smashed the side window in order to drag him from the truck, handcuffed and searched him, and transported him to a local hospital for a psychiatric evaluation and mental health hold. Affiliate attorney Michael Wingate Hernandez is assisting the Rutherford Institute with the lawsuit, which charges police with violating the 4th and 14th Amendments as well as state law. This is just one more example of how a relatively benign situation, a routine welfare check, gets escalated into something far more violent and dangerous through the use of militarized police, armed to the teeth and trained to react combatively, said constitutional attorney John W. Whitehead, president of the Rutherford Institute and author of Battlefield America, The War on the American People. The unnecessary use of force by police officers in response to a situation that should have, and could have, been handled non-confrontationally did not, in this instance, result in a loss of life, but that is small consolation to those who have learned to tread cautiously in their interactions with police. According to the complaint, on November 21, 2013, Albemarle County police officers were asked to conduct a welfare check on Benjamin Boris by his employer. Police confronted Boris as he was leaving the Comfort Inn and preparing to leave for a hunting trip to Montana. Boris informed officers that he was fine, had no plans to hurt anyone, and just needed time to think through things, hence the trip to Montana. For 2 hours, officers persisted in asking Boris to exit his truck and speak with them, with Boris continuing to reiterate that he had no intention of harming himself or others and just wanted to be left alone and allowed to go on his hunting trip. During this time, police deployed a Stinger device behind Boris's truck. Police also surrounded Boris's truck with their squad cars, blocking his exit. The officer speaking with Boris informed the other officers that they had no reason to hold Boris, because he had not threatened to harm anyone and he was not mentally ill. Nevertheless, a tactical team of heavily armed police launched a flash grenade at Boris' truck, smashed the driver's side window, dragged Boris out by his arms, handcuffed, searched and arrested him. Boris was forced to undergo a psychiatric evaluation and locked up under a mental health hold. Constitutional attorney and author John W. Whitehead, send him mail, is founder and president of the Rutherford Institute. He is the author of The Government of Wolves, The Emerging American Police State, and The Change Manifesto, sourcebooks. Copyright 2016 The Rutherford Institute. Read more at http://thefreethought project.com/58-man-rated-SWAT-assaulted-health/number 4 cap 7AU96KL01Z.99